Okay, I'm experimenting with a new mic. Tell me how you like it. It's a rock band mic. Anyway, I'm just trying to fit in, and I have a battle here against my good friend Josh. Another battle. And this time I'm doing a triple battle just for fun, and this took a really long time to record in DSMumi. But, Oh, it's not a triple battle. It's a rotation battle. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired. And I'm probably gonna stay up for another couple hours. But anyway, a bunch of stuff's happened. I lead with my Hippowdon, get Sandstorm up, rotate into my Abagura. He uses Grass Knot, gets a crit. He rotates into his Rachi, uses Grass Knot, gets a crit. And then I rotate into Hippowdon, expecting him not to use Grass Knot again, but he does, and he gets another crit and takes out my Hippowdon. Then I go out into Notori, except it's not really a Notori. It's a Zoroark, and it uses Focus Blast, and he rotates into Sazendora to use Flamethrower on what would be a Notori, but it's not a Notori, it's a Zoroark. And Zoroark uses Focus Blast again, just because I wanted to fodder it, and it would do damage on all of his team, no matter what he rotated into. He uses Focus Blast for his final time, and gets killed by a Geonosex Bug Buzz. I send out my Randarosu, I rotate into my Abagura to use Rest, as he rotates into his Jirachi, and uses Ice Punch, and he gets the freeze when I was supposed to rest, which really sucks. I send out my real Notori this time, and guess what? His Jirachi has Fire Punch too, so I'm beginning to really hate this Jirachi. And finally, after his Fire Punch and all that damage, I get a Leech Seed off. I didn't really care which Pokemon I Leech Seed on, but it's nice to get it off on the Jirachi because I really didn't like that Jirachi. I switch into rotate into my Randarosu, and his Rachi uses Fire Punch again. And I heal a bit from leftovers on both my Randarosu, not leftovers, Leech Seed, on my Randarosu and Doryuzu, and they both get a Swords Dance up while his Rachi is failing to predict me. He rotates into his Geonosect, but doesn't have enough time to do anything because my Doryuzu uses Earthquake and kills it. He goes out into his ballooned Heatran, and I rotate into my Randarosu and use Brick Break because it would work on all of his team, except for maybe Rachi, but, whatever. And, yes, it takes out the Sazendora. He then goes out into his Raikou, and I use Earthquake, hoping he's not going to rotate into his Heatran. And he goes out into his final Pokemon, Metagross. I Earthquake the Metagross, and all this time I'm Earthquaking. I'm really hoping that the Heatran is not going to rotate in. And apparently we both forgot that the Heatran has a balloon, because he's not rotating into the Heatran, he's laughing behind me. And I'm trying to hit it with Earthquake. You can see that right there. So I use Earthquake as he uses the mightiest of his stupidity to use Stone Edge, which I don't know why he did that. Anyway, Earthquake misses, and I'm like, oh, it has a balloon. And then I rotate into Randarosu and use Brick Break, and that's a good game. And guess what? You get 2 battles in this video, because I decided to do the first and the last in our series of battles. This time it's a normal single battle, same teams however, and he leads with his Geonosect, which gets a download for special attack. I lead with my Hippowdon to get the Sandstorm up. I know I can't survive a Water-type Techno Booster, so I go into my Notori, Buster. And he gets a crit on the Notori, it still doesn't do anything. He uses Bug Buzz and it does a bit more. I get some spikes up and he's getting some Bug Buzzes. And I want to take this time to talk about the Geonosect. It is shiny, so the cassette isn't blue. He's holding an Aqua cassette, but it's yellow because it's shiny. So be careful of shiny Geonosects. Anyway, I go out into my Hippowdon as he goes out, and I go out into my Hippowdon and he goes out into his Heatran. Except it's not really a Hippowdon, it's a Zoroark, which I love. I use Focus Blast twice on his switch and on his second turn before he can attack and take out the Heatran, which is a pretty big threat since it had a balloon at first. And that's nice. So he goes out into his Raikou, and I switch into my Doryuzu to take a Hidden Power Ice or Thunderbolt, whichever. I believe I go for the Earthquake just because I'm stupid, and I didn't Sword Stance just because I'm stupid. And the Earthquake misses because of the Sazendora. I know the Sazendora is going to take me out, but I just wanted to see. I used Return because I wanted to see how much it would do. I've never used Return and had a Pokemon live from it, I don't think. So, that's good to know. It did like half damage to Sazendora. Now I just have to figure out Sazendora's base stats. Anyway, he takes out the Doryuzu, and I go out into my fake Hippowdon. It's actually a Zoroark, and I use Focus Blast on the Sazendora, but it misses. After Sandstorm, I live with 19 HP, which is pretty nice because I can survive another hit from Sandstorm, and he's hoping I would die, but nope, I live with 3 HP. And the second Focus Blast hits and takes him out. He goes back out into his Raikou, and I just use Focus Blast because I really don't have anything to take his Raikou's Hidden Power, Ice, or Thunderbolt. Well, I did have something to take the Thunderbolt, but I didn't have anything to take the Ice. But he dies to Life Orb and Sandstorm together, which is kind of funny. He could have wasted his Raikou on something a little bit stronger. I go out into my actual Hippowdon, he goes out into his Irachi, he uses Grass Knot, and it does quite a bit of damage. It doesn't get a crit this time, unlike the triple battle. I set up Stealth Rocks just to taunt him, because all of his Pokemon that he has left are weak to Earthquake, so I'm just, fooling around, and the Stealth Rock is just like a herba-derba-derp. I go out into my Randarosu after he takes out the Hippowdon. I use Sword Stance, and he uses Ice Punch, but I have a Yachi Berry, so that's pretty good. And I use Earthquake and take out the Irachi. Then he goes out into his Genesect, Genocide, whatever, and takes some nice damage from Entry Hazards, and I use Earthquake and take that out. Next, he goes into his Metagross. Took out Heatran earlier. He goes out into his Metagross, I use Earthquake again, and that is good game. I hope I did well narrating this battle, because I am just so tired right now. Bye.